How are you guys doing? It's time for us to get to week 4. So congratulations on finishing your first essay assignment, the Google Maps Memoir project. I think it's always really exciting in a class when you can kind of finish the first big project just to get a sense for how the class is going to go. So we have 1 paper down, we have 2 more to go. We have the problem-solving essay and the opposing viewpoints essay. This week I'm introducing you to the problem-solving essay. It's basically an argumentative or persuasive piece of writing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that by showing you guys some stuff up on my board. Real quick though for this week, on Canvas, you'll read the prompt and the rubric for the problem-solving essay, which will help you get to know this project a little bit more. For readings, you have some readings from Patterns for College Writing a little bit. There's an essay called Solving for Pattern by the famous essayist Wendell Berry. It's a problem-solving essay. And then there's some other resource type readings. You'll read one called Analyzing Rhetorical Situations, which helps you think about the audiences for things you write. Persuasive writing, it's very important for you to think about the audience. I also have a couple sample student essays, so you can see what my former students did for the problem-solving essay. I also have some slides that go over argumentative and persuasive writing in a handout that goes with them. So you can print out those things, take a look at them. Finally, there's a reading about writing problem-solving essays. It walks you through some of the basics, how to do it, and some sort of tips and pointers. And last, there's a handout that goes with it about organizational patterns for problem-solving essays. There are 4 of them, so you can pick one of the 4 patterns when you're writing your problem-solving essay. All right, so there you go. And then related to that, there's some activities you're doing in a journal this week. So those are the activities. Let's go over to the board, and we'll talk a little bit about persuasion in writing. So let's just start with our basic word here, persuasion. Persuasion is simply trying to win someone over to your side. Maybe you're trying to change someone's mind. You're trying to get somebody to accept an idea. Maybe you're trying to make a sales pitch. You're trying to get out of trouble that you're in. You're trying to win somebody over in some way or another. Now, you can do persuasion through a number of different ways. I'll make a little list of them on the board. So let's say here there are more than just these 3, but here are 3 very common ways that we try to persuade people. You can do it through what's called argumentation. I'll talk more about this in a minute. You can do it through emotion, by appealing to their emotions. Typically with emotions, you play off of negative ones, such as pity and fear. You try to scare people about something, or you try to make them feel sorry. Last is tradition, where you simply appeal to the way things always are. So because we've always done them a certain way, we should keep doing them that way. So anyway, here's 3 common ways that people try to persuade other people. So I'm going to take argumentation now and talk a little bit more about argumentation. So argumentation is a type of persuasion. And here's how argumentation works. In argumentation, you make a statement. Then you make another statement that supports the first statement. Here's an example. You guys see that on the screen there? Here's a statement. Travis is a terrible teacher, which may or may not be true. As is, this is simply a claim you're making. Now, in order for people to believe your claim, you have to give them a reason to believe you. The reason to believe you is called your evidence. So you want to say something that supports this claim that you're making. So, I'll have a little bit of fun here, and let's think of some reasons to back up this claim. So maybe I'm a terrible teacher because I assign too much work. Now, oftentimes, when you're making a claim, it's not enough to just provide one piece of supporting evidence. You need to provide multiple pieces of supporting evidence. Because the more evidence you provide to a claim, the stronger that claim can be. And you're not dependent on just one supporting evidence holding the entire claim up. For example, what if I really didn't assign too much work compared to, I don't know, your math instructor or your biology instructor? Well, then this piece of evidence would just fall apart. So you need more pieces of evidence to support your claim. So again, this is a piece of evidence. You can think of another one. And let's say that as a teacher, I assign too much work and I don't think I do this one. I demand perfect writing. Now, perfection is hard to achieve, so if I was demanding perfect writing in 101, well, that's a problem. So now your claim suddenly has stronger support right there. So argumentation in writing is when you make a claim and you're supporting it with pieces of evidence like this. Now again, the stronger the evidence is, the more supported your claim is going to be. Now, we do this in logical ways when we're using our claim and evidence in valid ways. So logic simply sets up rules that we use to do this kind of thing in a valid way. Logical fallacies are when our evidence doesn't match the claim, or there's problems or holes with both or either. So that's what a logical fallacy would be in its most basic sense, according to the rules of logic. So there you go with argumentation. That's a basic walkthrough of argumentation. So let me talk a little bit more now about evidence and types of evidence that you can use. So for evidence, textbooks that I've used have talked about three main kinds of evidence. Here are the three. Examples, got an S, expert opinion, and statistics. So in general, you could lump all evidence into these three types right here. Now for examples, there are three different types of examples. These are all found on the handout, or I'm sorry, on the slides. There are real examples, hypothetical examples, and then analogies. So whenever you're citing something as an example that backs up a claim, these are three different types of examples you have. Expert opinion is when you find an expert to quote, sometimes a scholar, an expert in a certain field, or even somebody who has a lot of expertise. So you find a quote, or you summarize something from that expert. Third, statistics. So let's say there's a piece of data or a certain statistical correlation or statistical finding. You would cite it in support of a claim that you're making. Now with evidence, here's the one thing I want you to remember about it. With evidence, you want to use a wide variety of evidence. The wider variety of evidence you use, the stronger your claim is going to be. So that way, let's say you have a piece of statistical evidence that actually falls apart, doesn't work. You have other types of evidence that could hold up your argument still. So you want to go for a wide variety of evidence that's being used. So I hope you found this to be a helpful introduction for argumentative writing. Please message me or let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help you out.